Hey, Kings of Dragons, Dragon King 551 here. We are back with another review for movies. This one's all about The Matrix 4. I have been waiting a long time to do this one. I am so happy that I got to finally see it. I haven't watched it since The Matrix 3. And let's go right into these spoilers. There is a spoiler warning here. There will contain some spoilers in some aspects to this. I will try to keep it as minimum as possible for most of the story. I will take the big aspects and other scenes, but for the most part, I'm just going to talk about that. So the last time we ever saw Neo was in the third movie when he was the one and destroyed the Matrix from the inside out. All he ever wanted was peace. So he got peace. But here's the cherry on top. Trinity died in that movie. He also died. So what happens? We go into this movie. They rebuild him and Trinity, and they have the magic. When they touch hands together, they have like this force energy that makes them really strong. It's a connection, basically. It's just like a connection together. So what happens is that if they keep them close enough within reach of each other, but never be able to touch each other like this, and just not there, the Matrix can function the way that this new operative wants it to function. Such as, for example, there is a new doctor guy. So we do have Smith and another guy who's playing new actors. Obviously, the old actors got old and they could no longer play their characters anymore. So they rescheduled them, such as Smith and Morpheus. But you can't cut out Keanu Reeves and the actress who plays Trinity, because those are two of the major points. My point is that when this story plays out, you see him back in the Matrix world. So now he's taking all these blue pills and keeps reliving the same day over and over again. However, they believe that the Matrix 1, 2, and 3 were video games in the Matrix world. So yes, obviously simulation. If you die in that world, you die in the real world, which you never want to happen. So what happens? They think it's all Matrix world and everything is in that world. So now that he keeps reliving the day, and what do? They go find Neo because he's the one. They need him. So they bring him back to the real world. He comes out, he sees Trinity and robots. Some robots are now on their side, which is really interesting. So these robots are helping them. So it's great to see that aspect. So everything worked out. They basically got peace. But this new Matrix is screwed, basically, because as Keanu Reeves, the man, the power of Neo, the one, used to be so strong against Agent Smith. The problem is that there's a new guy, there's a new cat in town, and his name is this doctor psychiatrist dude who basically has the power of deja vu, who can restart the day and also relive the day and slow down time. So now Keanu Reeves, Neo, obviously, can't freaking move as he used to, being the one when he fought Smith. Also, Smith grabs the gun, obviously, in one scene and is like, hey, Mr. Andrews, and he's back, basically. And so the thing is that Trinity is in that world, and she must make the choice to either stay her character self in the Matrix, which is Trish, or be Trinity. And it's really weird is that in the beginning of the movie, we see that there are certain scenes that they're running old scenes from 1, 2, and 3 movies, but they're running it with like new file information that never happened in those 3 things, such as Trinity never got captured and all of this other stuff. So it's really interesting how they do all these aspects and try to fool us, but it's cool to see these resurrection things. So obviously Trinity and Neo escape with one another because she now finally gets her mind and everything back. But again, he slows down time before they can escape this doctor freak. But guess who comes to save them? The enemy of my enemy is my friend. So Mr. Smith comes out of nowhere and says, you know what? F you, doctor. I'm going to kill you. Boom, 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 pow, pow. he shoots him like 4 times, and he basically is like dead. So now they're escaping. You got these helicopters and all of this nonsense, them running through the city and going crazy with all these other bug freak guys trying to capture them. So they're at the top, and Neo is able to use his powers and stop everything. But what happens? Trinity and him jump off the building. Will they make it? Oh, it's close. But one thing that happened, Neo couldn't fly anymore, but Trinity obtained the power of flight. So now she had the power of the one, if you want to call it that, or had very similar powers and be able to move just as fast as Neo can. So now at the end of the scene, we have the doctor there, and she keeps using the cat Deja Vu, bringing him back, and just keeps beating the crap out of him, killing him over and over again. And they're saying, we'll bring the Matrix back to the world that we want and stuff. So obviously the scene ends with them doing that, and they fly off. So now Neo gets his ability of flight back, and Trinity has the power of flight, and that's how the movie ends. The post-credit scene is meaningless. I'm just going to tell you that right now. You don't really need to watch it. It's kind of a demeaning post-credit scene. I'm not even going to really talk about it. It was stupid. It's like one final line or something about cats or something. I don't know. Dumb. Point is that in that final scene, we have not just the one and only one. Now we have two the ones, basically. So now I guess Trinity and Neo together, their power is doubled, and they'll be stronger together. So I don't know if they'll make a Matrix 5 and 6, but I have a hunch that they probably will make a 5 and 6, and the story will play out. I mean, obviously we have Keanu Reeves' John Wick coming out in 2022, but I mean, and the original actor who played Morpheus coming into that movie. Point is that I can't wait to see what happens if they make a 5 and 6, because this movie was great. I thought it was fantastic. Obviously, I want to say that the audience rated is 78 on Rotten Tomatoes. Obviously, the most reliable source always go to Rotten Tomatoes. The critics rated is 71. I rated an 82 out of 100, an 8.2 out of 10, which is an 82%. Pretty much, basically, I think it was 4% better than what the audience said. I thought it was a B movie. I thought it was definitely a B rating movie. I thought it was really interesting. I loved it. I thought the story was well made. I thought it was perfect. The problem is that there are certain things that lacklustered. I feel like there was kind of not enough action in the story. I mean, there was enough for the story to play out perfectly. It just did not seem great because you have all like these bugs, I think they were calling it. And I just didn't like the doctor aspect, which really pissed me off, because if the doctor can slow down time with deja vu and stuff and all of this crazy stuff, you would think that there would be an upgrade to the one power of Neo and like Agent Smith and all of their powers. You would think that the agents and Neo would each get a power up and an upgrade to their abilities, so they would be able to move at those slow speeds and be able to keep up. But, whatever. So those are all my thoughts on this. I really enjoyed the movie. If you guys want to go watch it, go right ahead. I would recommend it. If you have seen the 3, it definitely has redeeming qualities from the 3rd movie to the 4th. That's all I'm going to say about this movie. So until next time, guys, don't forget to stay radical. I'll see you in the next one. And yeah.